Hi beautiful souls, welcome back to the channel, Beautiful Awakening with Shantia. Welcome to another channeled message with me. Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm recording this on Wednesday. Hopefully I will have this uploaded by Friday, but my schedule has been busier than I was anticipating, and I'm just trying to make time for the things that I love. That's what's always important. Okay, so I have a beautiful collective message to share with you guys today. The theme is going to be collective elevation. Collective elevation. If you haven't watched my previous two videos, you're welcome to. I made a video about karma, and I also made a video about Lucifer, Ahriman, and the 144 mission that we're all here to be a part of. So please check that out. Someone actually mentioned, someone requested for me to dive into the dark night of the soul and the awakening journey, which I would love to do. I've sort of talked about it many times, and a lot of my discussions are about that because the huge part of the awakening journey I've learned for myself is that it's a painful process, and it most certainly will bring you through the dark night of the soul. So I sort of like to weave it into every discussion because I think it's so important for people to understand how persistent, how strong you have to be when you go through this process mentally, emotionally, and how much it strengthens you innately as you move through the process. So I would love to talk more in depth about the dark night of the soul. And another person also mentioned that the calligraphy that I used in the cave video was from the Quran, and it actually means in the name of God, which actually blows my mind because I obviously don't know how to read Arabic whatsoever. And I was just looking up calligraphy. I found an image of calligraphy and I was like, that looks good. And I didn't really think about it, but usually when I'm choosing these images or imagery or symbology, I go with it really quickly. And I think in a future video, I will talk with you guys about how you can channel and learn how to trust your instincts, because I'm open. I'm an open book, and I think it's so important to keep your energy and your mind very open to receive whatever energy is resonating with you. I don't resonate with everything, but I like to stay open to any kind of energy that can help to enhance my knowledge. And because the universe is in communication with us 24/7, we're surrounded by powerful knowledge all the time. And as old souls, a lot of people who feel called to this channel and the content I feel called to create is with those who are connected to those past incarnations where they have learned so much about themselves already. So I feel like some part of me just knew that calligraphy, I felt some kind of connection to it. I didn't think about it. I don't know. I don't think that deep about it because when we attach ourselves to the way that something looks or a specific type of religion, sometimes it can close our heart off to receiving insight from all areas. And we already have a very judgmental mind as is. So I always try to keep it open. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the message. I think I said it. Did I say it? The theme of this collective message is going to be actually collective elevation. Collective elevation. And before we get started, we always do a meditation, so let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and light the candle, and as I'm pulling cards, you guys will see the perspective from my phone camera, so you can see me pull them. Sorry, this is what I'm doing. It's taking a minute. There we go. And usually I like to read the energy of the oh my god, I'm blanking out right now. It's not sandalwood. My mind's empty, that's a good thing. Okay. This is nice. This is quite wispy and light, also magical. The energy felt good today. I was like, I need to do a reading for some reason today. I was gonna wait another day, but I was like, I need to do it today for some reason. Yeah. The energy is very much lightening up. Lightening up. It is. Here's the singing bow. Sometimes I get visions, but I was seeing another one. So I was seeing sort of a spinning cone on a stick, which is interesting. But to me, it actually was bringing me to a symbol in band. Sometimes I would stare at the instruments, but I love staring at the symbols because it's basically a round metal cylinder, like golden. Usually they were golden in band, and they would have a point. And I would just like stare at that conical shape. So there's something about a perfect tune or attunement that's coming in right now, and it's definitely tied into the collective message that wants to come through. We are attuning, and we're attuning quite well. So here's the collective message that wants to be shared with you. A wave of mass consciousness is revitalizing to meet at thee, and I couldn't find the word, but then the word filament popped into my head. Filament. So the filament is a thin, long piece of tungsten metal that's hard to melt as it sits in the middle of a bulb. If you've ever stared at a old-fashioned bulb, a filament bulb, it has this like ring, this golden ring around it. It looks like sunlight. And this filament is supposed to represent some kind of illumination happening on the collective level. So when I closed my eyes, I was taken to a child who was wandering down like a cave or a corridor of some sort. It was dark, and they were following this blue orb, but it also looked like it was the shape of a heart, and this orb was bouncing down the corridor, and the child followed it into some sort of like portal cave door of the sort, and in it was this like beautiful world, but that blue orb, almost like a marble or a glowing marble, joined a group of other ones that were moving up almost like in a shape of a tornado or a tree stump of some sort. But there were a bunch of them collected all together, and they were different colors. They were like specific colors like red, green, yellow, and then there was a blue. I think I was the blue. For some reason, I think that was supposed to be my group of people. But the thing is, we were all the colors were together. So to me, this sort of symbolized some kind of mass collective elevation that's happening, like we're elevating, and we are creating the filament here, the light. So the filament produces the light when electric current passes through it. It's made of tungsten, and it has a very high melting point. And then I was like, oh, I see what's going on. We, the collective who's been doing their inner work, we're stabilizing this light. We're learning how to hold its power. So the higher the temperature, they say, for this bulb, the more visible the light. So we have been getting an immense amount of downloads and solar light activations for the past few years. Like, it's been huge. It's been exponential, and we're learning how to hold the light inside of us. And if you think about it, now that we're learning how to operate at this high melting point, this high temperature, and hold this light, we are becoming more visible. But we're doing this as a collective. We're helping each other out, and we're pooling into our ability to bring light onto this world. The power of the sun, right? This is elevated consciousness. We're stabilizing the knowledge and the wisdom onto the earth. I think the sun is supposed to symbolize that guidance, that wisdom that is being offered to us. And we are being dispersed into different sectors. So you might be the blue group or the green group, doesn't really matter. But wherever you are here to be a true influencer. In my 144 mission video, I mentioned what a true influencer is. That's someone who does their inner work. And As a result, your energy, your vibration, your frequency is contagious. You're putting it out there into the stratosphere, so to speak. So we're being dispersed into different sectors. We'll start to begin to the tide will start to begin to shift. It will be noticeable. So now that essentially what the mission is here, what we've all been going through, why we've been going through this solar light upgrades, is because we are here to prevent some kind of potential tragic war here on Earth. And particularly the potential tragic war in the hearts of people. People need love. They need peace. They need light. They're calling for it. And so we're birthing it through ourselves. We're essentially reverse aging. So I was seeing sort of a turning point where we're like, if you imagine rewinding and going back to the beginning, so as to prevent, like if you go back in time to stop something from happening in the future. That's what I was seeing. So, could it literally manifest as a war? Are we preventing a war? What I think, I think humans think that we're often in control, and that we're the ones doing the work, but I think there's something here that's guiding us. As consciousness wanting to explore itself, we've taken the opportunity to do what we want, right? We've taken the opportunity to perhaps use our free will to partake in negative experiences. And that's consciousness sort of unbiasedly exploring life, right? There's no such thing as bad or good. Perhaps we felt called to partake in certain things where we're just exploring. If you don't label it as bad or good, we're just exploring. And now that we've explored those sort of darker energies and they've manifested, now we're wanting to reverse aging. We're wanting to go back to more of the light. The pendulum is swinging, so to speak. And this is how the universe is helping to keep everything into balance. I think things will still continue to be challenging, but I also feel like I don't know everything. So I'm just keeping an open mind. And this is the message that wanted to come through. So I'm like, if this is what wants to come through, then I'm just going to go with it. So the turning point. I thought that was a really good message. So with the Celestite, the message that wanted to come through, the first thing I saw was a 3-pointed star. And I wasn't sure what they were trying to point to. At first I saw a rocket. So I think things will be taking off with quite a bit of power, packed power behind it. Especially since we've been putting so much into building it. But the 3-pointed star just could also be the Holy Trinity. It could be everything coming together or things coming into union as well. Things locking into place. The next thing I saw in the crystal was I saw people meeting. So I wrote a meeting of elders because I saw ancestors. But it also could just be a meeting of cosmic energies, people, energies of different life experiences coming together. And I think as things are coming together cosmically, things are coming together physically here in this dimension for us. These energies, these celestial energies are coming together. I was also seeing or being called towards the Justice League. And I've actually had this vision maybe like a month or two ago where I saw a spiritual Justice League being put together. So it's like a Save the Planet mission is going on. So maybe things will turn up a notch, but we are being put together and put in place to prevent that energy from taking over. Because from my understanding of it, it's almost like God's like, nah, y'all ain't gonna be destroying this planet like that. We ain't doing that. Y'all are trying to destroy the planet. We are not doing that. Like, I think people really believe we can destroy it. Like, we have that power. And God's like, no, you don't. You can imagine, you can pretend you have that ability to be chaotic, but there's always something that's 20 steps ahead of us, whatever, a million steps ahead of us, God, a million steps ahead of us that's preventing things, that's putting things into constant balance, constant balance all the time. So the universe is trying to put together a spiritual justice league or United Nations, so to speak, that is pure in its intention. These plans have been underway for a long time. The 3-pointed star can also be a symbol of an Emkara or the Triqueta, if you want to look it up, if you guys are interested. Hopefully I will put the image up so you can see it. My handwriting is kind of all over, my notes are all over the place, so I don't know if it'll be understandable for other people. Okay, so yeah, that's the message that wanted to come through. We're coming into union, I would say pretty soon in the physical with our soul tribe, because an M-card means literally soul friend. So whoever has the same mission as you, they are coming to meet you and help you and work in cohesion with you soon. But what's more important is that you are feeling elevated in your consciousness and hopeful, I think. There's a lot of illumination that is spreading about here on Earth, where people are feeling illuminated. We're feeling illuminated with, I guess, hope, but we're feeling illuminated with knowledge, with insight, with truth. And the truth is really helping to give us clarity on where we're moving. A lot of people fear things because they don't know what's going to happen, but the universe is trying to tell you, this is what's going to happen. So you might as well position yourself now. Okay, let's go ahead and pull cards. Okay, so let's see what messages would like to come through for y'all. What does spirits want to communicate to you? Okay, there we go. The card wanted to come out. Nine of Swords. The Artist. Nice. Okay, so we have the Artist and the Nine of Swords. Audio is good to go. Okay, so quite obviously, you guys are being called to share your creative gifts. I think being an artist just means going with the flow of life, because your artwork truly is your life. It's not necessarily, oh, I have to literally be a painter or a content creator, though that's more than likely what you'll be called to do, is share something where you're probably going to be on social media of the sort. That's just a modern day version of how art wants to be communicated. We have the Nine of Swords. I think the fears are falling away. We can look more into it. I think that's a weird combination. I don't see these together. They feel separate to me. Let's go ahead and clarify artists here. We have the King of Swords. All right. Mind, headspace. And we'll clarify the Nine of Swords. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Yes, work. All right. Sorry if these cards are kind of big compared to my other tarot decks. Hopefully you guys can see all of those. So the King of Swords, we have the Artist, we have the Nine of Swords, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Well, just know wherever you're at when it comes to your financial state or when it comes to work, just know that it's a temporary stop. They need you to stand strong because you guys are in training right now. So mental strength is important. And the reason why we need to train is because we would be too easily concerned or moved by things. We'd be easily persuaded to stop being persistent on our journey if we didn't learn how to cultivate persistence. So it's important that we take that time to pause and allow and trust the flow so that we learn how to trust our own inner voice. Here. Okay, so let's just pull some clarifiers and add into this message. We got the Six of Wands, so they do want you to be confident in yourself and your abilities and to know that things are going to work out, and it's going to work out for the best. That's what matters here. We have the Pearl. Yep, emotional force, 1 Cancer. Yeah, they're trying to open you up. Experiential wisdom. So if you are in some type of challenging circumstance right now, just know that it is by design. It is on purpose because you're in training. They're trying to open you up. Our emotions are powerful. And our emotions, we don't open up unless we feel things. I was thinking about this today. Someone who grows up in, let's say, chaos, right? Where their emotions are up and down and They're going through all of these up and down emotional trials versus someone who grows up in a very quiet, perhaps even a safe environment. They would have a very different perspective about life. You win when you're challenged emotionally. And that's why you should never be afraid if something is challenging you. When I started to step into certain things, like leadership and whatnot, things started to scare me a lot less because I was like, dang, I can handle this. I didn't think I could. And that's the thing. We will always have that voice of self-doubt telling us, I can't do this. Who am I to do this? Who am I? Someone believes in you. And if you have one person who believes in you and encourages you, that's all you need. But embedded in your subconscious mind here, we got the moon and subconscious mind. It's some kind of fear about, because they're trying to elevate you and they're trying to elevate you into a place of power. But perhaps right now you have no idea. You don't even know what they're training you for. Perhaps right now you have no idea that you're that insecure about it. Let's say someone gave you the position or they offered you something, right? And you took it on. But then you didn't know until you took that job on that all of these fears and insecurities were going to come up. Guess what? They're training you ahead of time so that when the opportunity comes, you step into it with a strong sense of self, of knowing that you can do this. That's what the training is for. Otherwise, you're not going to say yes to this. Just to be very transparent with my journey and what I've been going through. It's been hard, guys. Like, this past year has been very challenging because sometimes it blows my mind what I feel like I'm being asked to do or be a part of, because it's such a diversion from where I thought my life was going. And it's been hard to contend with that or just come to terms with that, knowing that, like, whoa, you're asking this much of me. Are you sure? Are you sure you're asking the right person? And it's been challenging because part of me just wants to resist it and just wants to crawl back into my bed and wants to go back to the safe way that I used to do things before. But the thing is, I have so much passion for the thing that they're pulling me towards that I know I can't look back. So they're developing your character. They're asking you to challenge yourself, ask these questions, and really ask what you're capable of. Because what they're calling you into is something you can't even imagine. You can't even imagine yourself doing this. That's how good it is. I know sometimes they say imagine, but imagination really is at the higher evolved expression or experience of it is really intuition, or it's your clairvoyance. It's just you seeing into the future of what your guides are telling you you can do and you're capable of. We have your checkered flag, right? Completion, conclusion, finale, coming to a close. 9 Leo, the culmination. The culmination. Yes, the collective consciousness is building into this experience. We are at that part of culmination. I was seeing the buildup of these orbs. They were building up together, up towards like this tornado or this tree trunk like structure, huge. And to me, that was signaling that we were coming together. It's really hard for things to come together in the 3D unless they're stabilized in the multiple other dimensions. They have to be stabilized there first before they come here into manifestation in the 3D. Okay? Just know that you're finishing first. 6 of Wands. You're finishing first. You're finishing first. Stay strong. So right now, to me, because they're showing me the King of Swords in combination with the Knight of Swords, this is telling me that you are pretty dang close to maintaining that mental state, strength of state that they've been trying to get you into to receive this assignment. Just making sure you can see it. All right, let's see what else wants to come through. Oh, okay. Just try to pull one and then 2 more popped out. Okay. So we have here the Orphan. I think that definitely goes hand in hand with the Nine of Swords. Feeling like you're alone, feeling like nobody understands, I'm alone. I'm not gonna even, sometimes when I see that card come out, I'm like, oh, why? Like, we can do this, I can do this. But what this card symbolizes is that they're trying to help you understand that it's hard for you to conceive where they're guiding you because it requires so much higher power here. Number 4, higher power. It requires a lot of higher power putting things into play. This is not something logically that we can understand. That's why they're needing to emphasize you feel like you're alone, because some part of you knows that you're being called towards something big and amazing and pretty dang magical, mystical, unexplainable. You don't even know what it is. You don't even know exactly what this is looking like, because I'm telling you, we are all trying to decipher and understand what the heck is going on, and quite honestly, we will not know until we start creating it, really. We just have ideas. We just know where we're being called towards, but we're literally going to be creating it in the moment. Here, with this orphan higher power, yeah, they just need you to know this is going to require, I'm hearing like a load of trust for you to see this through. Yeah, let's see what else they want to let us know. We have here Yang 1. So you'll be called to action. Sometimes I used to pull this card out and I used to think, oh, is it time to take action? No, not necessarily. You will know when you're being called to action. So just keep an open mind for when this initiates. We get the 1 and we get the 9. So I feel like the end and the beginning, we have the beginning with the Ace of Pentacles is near here. It is near, and you're finishing first. They just want you to know you're finishing first in the heart of God. You're finishing first, and you've been doing a phenomenal job thus far. So just keep believing in yourself. Stay encouraged. There is going to be a time where you are called to action, my dear. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. My battery is dying. Okay, so the song I was getting just a second ago, before my camera was about to die again. The song I'm getting right now is the Miley Cyrus song when she's saying there's always going to be another mountain, there's always going to be another something about the climb, right? The climb. So some of you may be in a time or a point in your life where you're experiencing some kind of climb, and they want you to know there's always going to be another mountain, there's always going to be another challenge, right? And each one strengthens you. It makes you feel powerful, because that's how you learn how to access your true powers, when you go through things that are very difficult and you learn how to handle them with grace and with ease. So that's what I was getting. Okay, so let's continue to pull some cards. Oh. That was not supposed to be in that deck. That's so funny. So that says not for you. So that's about, we can get clarifiers on that one, but that's about learning where there's resistance, something's needing to be let go of. So wherever you're feeling resistance in your life, that's because that's the thing or the direction that you're not being called towards, essentially. And that's what they're letting us know. Okay, we have here travel. All right, I'm gonna pull some clarifiers in addition to that here. What do you want us to know about travel? Death card. Woohoo! That's interesting. I mean, whenever I look at travel, I sort of connect it to Sagittarius energy or 9th house energy, and it could be beyond literal travel. It could also be about traveling your mind or your heart, or going the distance, or even astro traveling, or raising your consciousness. So I'm definitely getting that with a death card here. This is about raising your consciousness. Travel, new, going to somewhere new, entering into a new state of consciousness, into a new space within yourself where you're feeling connected and aligned with who you are and how you see yourself. Things needing to end. Yeah. Clarify this not for you card. We have here 8 of Swords. Okay, so they're definitely emphasizing some kind of fear. So in the previous channeled message, I was talking about a test, right? That wasn't that long ago. I'm trying to space them out. But in that video, I was talking about some kind of tests. They're testing you. Universe is testing us here with something where we feel like we're trapped. So there's a distinct situation in your life right now where you feel like you're trapped, where you feel like it's not improving, or you feel like it's not going to get better. And it definitely is manifesting into the physical with the Ace of Pentacles, but there's a new beginning coming. So they're guiding you. They want you to know, however you feel like this is going to tragically end or unfold, let it fall away, because it just sort of needs to end. Here, I'm sort of getting some Tower energy as well from this. Picking up a little Tower energy. We have here House 3, and what else? We have Uranus. Change. Okay, so I'm gonna double down on consciousness here with the House 3 and Uranus. Whenever we get like any kind of symbology, it's not just literal. It's not just like, oh, House 3, people, communication. It's also the unmanifest version. So the unmanifest version of House 3 and Uranus energy is about intellect and consciousness and changing your viewpoints, shifting your paradigm quite dramatically. So much to the point where it actually aligns you with different people than you originally were aligned with in life. You're people who share these very distinct paradigms, these very distinct perspectives on life. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so there's some like mental challenges that are most certainly showing up for people right now. So let's see what Spirit wants to do. You're going through some kind of exercise, some kind of strengthening, some kind of mental strengthening exercise. Something is intensifying mentally, and it's something where you're like, okay, I'm sort of getting better at this. You're actually getting better at handling it, but it's also going up a notch as well. They're like, okay, we're gonna push you a little further, a little bit further, a little bit further, so that you can be challenged in some way. Yeah, I'm hearing big think, and we have here judge, and we have here engineer. So we've engineer, the ability to give creative energy a practical expression, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. Judge, balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. So this is about, what are we connected to here? Some part of you, to me, actually, the engineer feels like the King of Swords. It feels like you are finding some kind of solution in your life. You're aligning with some kind of solution in your life. You're starting to understand what the solution is. So I think they're sending you the clarity that you need. And it's a matter of like deciphering it. So wherever you feel like there's a problem, you already know what the solution is. That's what they're telling you to lean into. They're like, you already know what the answer is. You already know where this story is going, or how this is going to end, or the best approach is. Maybe there's some kind of resistance or something you're not fully leaning into that they're gently urging you to lean into more, to help yourself, to help with your situation. Let's see. We have here beehive. Yep. We got here diligence, persistence, and stamina. And we have here one Taurus, emerald. Healing. You are healing. You are healing the way that you think, the way that you process things. Here with this engineer, there's a way that you process things before that was essentially dysfunctional. The way that humans are often programmed to think or process things. There is some kind of solution. Your brain, your energy, your intuition is finding the solution. It's tuning into the solution. It's working it out. So what I'm hearing is like when we're aligning with ourselves and we're doing our inner work and we're healing, things are aligning for us in the physical as well. I don't believe it's as simple as, well, if your life is negative on the outside, that's because you're not doing the inner work. I don't think it's quite that simple, because you see a lot of people manifest what they want and they're not happy. So what's that about, right? It's like, okay, this person's manifesting what they want, but why are they not happy? So they internally seem very conflicted. It's not as simple as that, because we are called to, depending on our soul's evolution, we're called to do a certain amount of work here. Soul restoration, that's what's sticking out to me. So your soul is restoring itself. I think in you, it's becoming more alive. I've heard before that the soul is unconscious, and so the soul is becoming conscious in you. This sounds like the solution. It's the healing. It's about allowing your soul to come into your body and to direct you and show you what to do. Whereas opposed to before, you used your human programming and fears to decide and choose how you were going to live your life. But what they're calling you to do now is to trust the soul, let the soul guide you and show you what to do. Put the human at the back. That's what I'm saying. Put the soul at the front, put the human at the back. Let the soul drive here. Okay, and it's hard because it's a painful process. That integration of allowing your soul to take charge. And with this judge energy here, balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. This is about things coming into balance. This is about understanding your true power and where it actually comes from. I mean, the words that are sticking out: balance, justice, compassion, fair, and power. So yeah, it's about trusting the process here. Okay, let's see what else wants to come through. We have another one here. Nice. Okay, we have here Halls of Amenti, initiation, secrets revealed, treasures uncovered, initiation. All right, so this is about people going through their initiation process. You are being initiated, you have been initiated, you've been in your initiation process. So the initiation process is essentially the awakening process. It's where you're welcomed into this cosmic energy, in this cosmic world where things and where energy, cosmic energy and magic exists. And now you're starting to see that there's more than meets the eye. So, This reading is quite mysterious. I'm not entirely sure where to go here with it. So let's roll the Astro dice and see where it wants to take us. We have your Sagittarius, we have Mars, and the ninth house. Talk about travel. What did I see? Okay, so we have the Mars and Sagittarius in the ninth house. Okay, spiritual knowledge. Mars is about, I was actually watching a video about it today, and someone was talking about how Mars is about discipline, it's about doing the right thing. Mars, actually, someone said, is like a police officer. They're all about like, no, you gotta do this, or do this, and do this. And I always thought that Saturn was more of that. But Saturn is the long-term commitment, whereas Mars is trying to tell you what to do right now. So there's something about you getting or receiving the downloads to understand what you need to do right now in this time of your existence in order for you, like, what are you here to do? What's the knowledge? What's the truth? So strong enthusiasm here with this Mars in the Sagittarius and the ninth house. So you're probably feeling very passionate and intentional about your spiritual journey in your life, which is exciting. But for some reason there's a conflict. That energy feels powerful and it feels like a burst of energy, and of contrast to the conflict, which is interesting. I want to know why there's such a huge contrast between, wow, I'm so passionate about this, and I'm so insecure, I don't know what's happening, I don't know what's going on, I'm not sure what's going on with that. Let's see. Ten of Pentacles. Okay, well, that's nice. We like a Ten of Pentacles. Okay. This is about your legacy. The long-term commitment. I was just talking about that. The long-term commitment. Oh, spiritual teachers. Okay, some of you guys are spiritual teachers, quite obviously. That would make sense if you're on this channel. Some of you guys are spiritual teachers. Oh, you are being called into your destiny. And for some reason, some of you guys are resisting this pathway. You don't realize that your spiritual journey or your spiritual life being the priority is the answer. So you're making something else the answer. Why the conflict? Because it's change. Why the conflict? Knight of Wands. That's about progress and moving forward, as is Mars. Mars, Knight of Wands, it's like the same energy. Progress, moving forward with passion for what you want to do and who you are. Well, I think maybe some of you have some lingering fears. But like I said earlier, with the King of Swords here, to me that feels confident, right? That's someone who's established sort of a belief system or a value system within themselves where they're like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what feels right. But for some reason, there's these fears lingering that is probably keeping you from seeing that there's progress that is about to be made here on your journey with the Yang, the Knight of Wands. There's some kind of step up and step forward, I think, where you're going to feel very passionate about and just self-assured in the direction your life is going in. So the confidence and the self-assuredness is coming in. This is coming in. This is beautiful. And then after that, I feel like what will birth into your life is the physical manifestation of a circumstance that aligns with how you feel within yourself. What I also find interesting is Mars is actually connected to engineers as well, because Mars is like technical, could be like technical creativity or technical ability to understand or want to understand the intricacies of things here. So it seems like you're engineering your destiny is what I'm hearing. Ooh, that's good. You're engineering your destiny. They're teaching you how to engineer your destiny. Okay, that's good. Oh, they're going to start showing you some steps. You're going to start taking some steps pretty soon, relatively soon. You're going to feel called to. Perhaps you have already started taking some steps where you're like, this is what I need to do. Whether you're like, I need to write a book. I need to make some kind of content. I need to call this person up and say, hey, can we collaborate? Like, you're going to feel much more clear on what you're feeling called to do next. It's a power move. I'm seeing some kind of like power move being made here where you're feeling sure this is the next right step for you. Okay. I feel like there's one more message that wants to come through. Did I pull all the cards? Oh, that one more and 4 comes out. Okay, we have Person of Air. So that's about your mental strength. We have the Still, which is about refinement. We have the Yes. Awesome. And we have the Optical Illusion. Okay. Do you want to give us... I almost want to ask for a timeline, but those are usually pretty pointless to ask for. Is what I've learned in my experience. The answer is yes. The situation or event is on track at this time. So the answer is yes. Whatever you feel called to be a part of or what you feel like is germinating in your life, the answer is yes. It's coming to fruition. Right now, there is no evidence that this is the case. Perhaps there's no evidence that it's going to be as abundant as you have no idea. You can't even calculate in your head. Logically, it doesn't make sense, but it's an extremely prosperous and abundant experience for you. But they do need you to be mentally strong. We have the 2 Aquarius energy here, and with the King of Swords, it's telling you be strong, because right now it lives in the ether versus seeing the evidence that this is what's happening. So you got to be patient here. There's still a bit of refining that needs to do. We have the 9 Taurus, we have the Taurus here energy. So there's some refinement that needs to happen. I think when it comes to some of your habits, whatever day in, day out habits that you're putting into your routine or the way that you process things It's what's helping you. And there's something that you're getting better at. I'm going to say it has to do with stillness and detachment. As we got the King of Swords. There's something about detachment here where it's like, okay, I'm not fixating, I'm not obsessing about it anymore. I'm just gonna trust it and I'm gonna stay focused. But it's tense because we have the King of Swords here and it's meant to be, and it's purposely designed to be tense because you wouldn't be able to strengthen. There's a huge change overhaul. We have the Death card, okay? That's not an easy change. The Death card, when I've meditated on that before, is the Valley of the Dead. It's where things go to die, that dream, like old paradigms. I'm not going to say dreams, but old paradigms they're dying there. Things that you are comfortable with are dying so that something new can be birthed. It has to clear away, and it has to end with a dramatic, dud. It can't go out quietly. I'm definitely not seeing a quiet ending here. It's a bit dramatic. It's internally. You might feel lonely. Maybe that's why you feel lonely, because you're like, I'm going through so many changes within myself that it's happening at a rapid pace, and I'm feeling like I'm having a hard time relating to people or knowing who I am or feeling lost. That's the awakening journey. It's meant to be that way. But things are purifying. So what is their final bit of advice to you? Look at all that air sign. Look at that. Moon in the 11th house in Libra. Whoa. Consciousness upgrade. Yes. So things are coming into harmony. We have the moon in Libra. That's pointing me to balance and finding harmony, but strong. I love that. A moon in Libra in the 11th house. That's double air support. I'm light as air is what I'm hearing in my head. You know how sometimes you feel very lightheaded? You're like you feel so spacey. There's something about that. I think some kind of experience or mentality or an energy that's coming into your life where you're going to feel like you're floating in your body, and it's going to feel perhaps quite blissful or enjoyable, like very detached. But that's also the guidance as well. They're asking you to be detached and to just sort of observe what's happening in your life. And not, regardless of what you're experiencing emotionally, there's a voice in your head that's like, it's all good. It's all good. Be calm. Be calm. It's all good. Be calm. So there's a voice in your head that's coaching you, and it's telling you, stay calm. Just breathe. Take it easy. Stay calm. Just breathe. Take it easy. That's what I'm hearing. Listen to that voice. It's guiding you. And it's showing you you're going to make it through. Because you might, again, you can't go to your old paradigm. You're gonna fall apart. It's gonna fall apart and collapse. It's not gonna hold up because it doesn't line up with what you've learned about yourself. Well, enjoy that. Enjoy the detachment and the stillness, and this evolution, this beautiful conscious awakening, shape-shifting, transcendent shift you're going through here. We're going through a mental shift right now. That's powerful. Where it's like now your mind's gonna go quiet. That's what I'm hearing. So for those of you who are like, oh, my mind is just like, they're just like, keep holding on, because you're starting to let that voice in more and more, and you're feeling unrattled. That's what I'm hearing. Like, okay, I'm not rattled. I'm just like, okay, this doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. Good. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to end it on that. I hope that helps you guys in some way. You guys are on to some bigger and better things, some wonderful things. And also, if you have any questions or requests about me making any videos, I'm happy to take those on. I would like to create content you guys are interested in. I have a video idea coming up soon that I've been working on, and I'm very excited to share it with you all. So just keep your schedule open to watch it. All right, have a beautiful day or evening, and I'll see you guys next time. The best thing you can do in life is to wake up and to stay awake. Bye. Free yourself.